So over the past 2 weeks, I decided to join an annual Game Boy Game Jam in order to do a couple of different things. First of all, I wanted to make more connections in the indie game dev space, and I thought working with a team in order to make a game would be a great way to do that. Second of all, I was hoping to get the chance to work under another pixel artist or just an artist in general in an attempt to improve my own skills at art. That way I could see how they approach certain problems. That way I could improve my own art as well. And so the day of the game jam came around and I was super excited. And then when the jam theme launched, which was space this year, I was like, let's go, we got this. The very first day I remember going ahead and making kind of concept art, as well as trying to find some references and a few other things just to go ahead and try to get ahead. We also spoke a little bit in Discord about how we were going to proceed. However, there were a couple of unfortunate things, as I was going to be busy that weekend and wouldn't have a whole lot of time past the initial few hours that I put in. Thus, Saturday and Sunday would go by and I would not have an opportunity to try and work on this game anymore until Monday. That seemed to work out great, as the other pixel artist also wasn't available and had asked me if we could meet on Monday. So therefore, when Monday came around, I was still super excited. However, things would kind of go downhill from here. First of all, Monday would go by and I would not hear any more from this artist. Now, I do know that from my experience in past game jams that some people do typically end up leaving a team, and sometimes they don't even say anything. The not saying anything is something that really does confuse me. I've thought this over and over, and the only thing I can think of is maybe they're embarrassed to say anything. I remember in a previous game jam where I had to drop out because my grandma was on her deathbed and I wanted to spend that time with family rather than doing a game jam. But still, I did end up telling the team that, hey, I'm going to have to drop because of this, which they understood, and I think most people would understand if life gets too busy. Anyway, I started to lose some momentum in this project, and there's a couple of different reasons for that. One was a bit of a selfish reason, which was I was really annoyed that the pixel artist had just randomly disappeared. I really was looking forward to seeing how someone else was approaching these problems that I was facing, and now I felt like I was back at square one. Also, this meant that my own workload would double if we were going to even have a chance at trying to finish everything before the deadline. Now, I do want to also mention that it didn't help that Unity at this time decided to announce their runtime keys. So on top of all of that, I had this new thing surrounding Unity just kind of looming over in the back of my mind. Thus, it would be almost until the end of the game jam, Friday, before I would actually get much more work done on the game jam itself. And I think what helped me do this was, first of all, I decided to just focus on myself and what I could and could not do within the now 3 days remaining. Instead of being negative, I tried to spin it into a positive. Well, if I could get all of these assets done by myself, there's a good chance that A, I would still improve in some way, and then B, people might be more impressed by the fact that I was able to accomplish so much in such a little space of time. Second of all, I decided with the whole Unity thing that I would go ahead and drop it for another engine, although I didn't know what engine at the time, basically deciding that how many games can say that at some point in their life cycle, they've had to restart their game not once, but twice. So thus, it was better to think of it that way as a positive than to think negatively around the whole entire situation, which honestly, it was really easy to do at the time as there was a lot of high emotions and drama going around. So now with just a few days left to go, I really rushed, and I'm actually impressed with how much I did end up getting done, both on the drawing end and on the animation end. And I do feel like my pixel art skills have improved, even just ever slightly, since it's kind of hard to see our own improvements. And then the final day came, the day before the submissions were due, and one of my teammates had asked me if I could go ahead and create the page. I didn't have a problem with this at the time, as writing is one of my strong suits, and I did not think it would take too much time. And as well as maybe, do a couple of other things with the pixel art to maybe spice up kind of some of the imagery that goes on the itch.io page. However, what I didn't account for is the fact that I was very tired and I was not paying close attention. Basically, what happened was when I created the page, I forgot to link it up to the Game Boy Game Jam submissions, and thus I just created a general blank page on itch.io, and I don't know if anyone ever caught that. It doesn't seem like it. Don't see anything about it being submitted in the Game Boy Game Jam number 11. Thus, I'm so sorry that I missed that critical step. It has taught me for future game jams to just go ahead and create the page at the very start of the jam, even if it is just to link up the project to the game jam. That way, that one last critical step can't be forgotten because you already have it started. Anyway, that's going to be it for me in this video. If you want to play or check out the Game Jam submission that we created, I will link it in the description below. And until next time, stay awesome, keep creating, and remember to spark the imagination. Take care, friends. See you in the next video.